Hello guys, in this video I'll be showing you guys how to access a reference of an asset like this sprite right here, the square sprite I have right here, through your code, like inside your code. So you don't have to write serialized field and then assign it in the inspector every single time you need your sprite. So the first thing you're going to need to do is create a new C# script. I'm going to name this asset references. Now I recommend you name it the same thing. So now we will not need the start and update functions, and we will not need the using system.collections and using system.collections.generic. So I'll just delete them. But what we will need is a public static variable, and it's going to be asset references, and it's going to be called instance. Now this static will make it so that no matter how many different game objects I have this script attached to, there will only be one of these variables. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. I'm actually going to change the first one to be private. The second one, I'm going to have a capital I. And instead of having a semicolon at the end, I'm going to have an open bracket and a closed bracket. Inside of that, I'm going to have a get function, or not get function, a getter, which then allows me to allow people to get the value of this, but I tell it inside here, I say how it's going to determine what the value is. And so I'm just going to return the instance right here. But what happens if this instance is null? Then we need to do something about it. We need to set it to not equal null. So now I need to write if instance equals null, then do some code. And I'm going to set instance equal to instantiate. It needs to be not instance, instantiate. Asset reference, no, that's not what it needs to be. Now it needs to be resources. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to access this resources class right here. And this will allow me to find game objects or prefabs or whatever I really want inside of a folder inside my assets folder right here. So if I copy the resources name right here, and I create a new folder, and then name it resources. This allows me now, inside of here, I can load any of the assets that I have inside of this resource folder. So what I can do is I can write assets resources.load, and then I can load a asset reference variable, not asset reference variable, an asset reference class from my resources folder. But now it needs a path, and the path I'm going to have it be is asset references, just like this. Now I need to create this asset reference prefab here. That's going to be instantiating. So to do that, I'm going to create a new prefab. I'm going to name it asset references. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to add a new asset reference script onto it. Now here it's giving me an error because I forgot a close parenthesis at the end. So now if I go back into Unity, I should have no more errors. But as you can see, this doesn't help me at all because now I still have to have this right here because I don't have the reference to my square sprite. So what you're going to need to do is make a public sprite and name it sprite. The reason why I have it being public here is because I need to show it in the inspector and so that I can access it in other scripts. Now, yes, I did say that you won't have to be dragging and dropping it into the inspector, but now you only have to drag and drop it into the inspector one time, and then you can use it however many times you want. So now what I can do is inside of here, inside my testing script, instead of having this serialized field right here, I can instead just write start. I write start asset references dot instance dot square sprite and I'm going to set it equal to sprite. So now my sprite right here is going to be equal to whatever I assign the value in here to equal. So I'm just going to set this to null or none so that I can show you it. So click play, and here you see that still equals none. And if I click on my asset references game object that I instantiated, you can see it still equals none right here. And the reasoning for that is because right now I have it so where in my asset references script, you can set the this variable to be whatever you want. I don't want that. I want it so where you can only set it in this script right here. So to make that happen, what you need to do is you need to make these braces again, like I did up here, for my instance variable. And inside of it, I'm going to put get, and then semicolon, and then private set. This will make it so I can access it from any script, but I can only set it in this script. And that also makes it so I need to change it to have capital S. Then my testing script, I also need to change it to be capital S as well. And you see I get this error because it can't, I literally cannot assign this value because I'm not allowed to. So now I can write sprite equals asset references.instance.sprite and not have to worry that I might accidentally change this variable. So now if I go back into Unity and I press play, I can see that it doesn't work. The reason why is because my asset reference here, I no longer have the reference to the sprite. And it's not showing, it's public, but it's not showing in the inspector. The reason why is because I need to manually tell Unity to serialize this field in the inspector because it has a private get and a set. But it still won't work because this is not a normal variable. This is a field variable. So I have to write field : space serialized field for it to work. And now it shows in the inspector. I just now need to drag and drop my square sprite onto here and now press play and bam. My testing script now has the square sprite assigned. If you guys have any questions, you guys can leave it in the comments down below.